All right, guys, welcome back to the tool shed, man. Real quick, so we're going to talk about the end of Parabola, and I'm going to use this as a little brief example about the whole thing about why I don't like tabs so much, right? And the creativity you lose by depending on the tabs, right? So let's talk about the real end. I'm going to play this part right here. I'm just talking about nice outro. This part right here. All right. So the way that's played and the way that that is commonly tabbed out is like this. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but I'll pop it up here in a second. There it is. The way it's tabbed out in most places where you find the tabs, it's happening down here. Those are the notes. Those are the same notes, right? The part that I'm going to focus on here is the end, right? Because when it's played, if you look at it on the Moises app, it had 2 tracks written. That's because that part is double tracked. The E, this note, so it's right. So that's happening over the back. So now you can't leave this note ringing because I'm holding the fret and do this. It's not possible, right? So instead of following the tabs, we're going to use this to identify the notes and find this in a different place on the fretboard where it can make sense. So the song Parabola, just to start off with, the top 2 strings are tuned totally different, dropped hard, okay? The top string is tuned to B, and the 5th string is tuned to E, which means that the 12th fret is the next octave of E. Well, that last note is an E, right? So the last 2 notes are, which means I can go. See how I can leave the E note ringing in the background? So if you were playing this live or you were just playing around on the guitar and having fun, right? You could find this as a different way to play it. So I'm going to play it the 2 different ways and then, judge it for yourself and let me know which one you like better. That's the way it's commonly topped out. Now I'm going to play it the way I'm talking about. See how the E note is still ringing in the back? Now, this thing I did with the slide, you can do that, or you can just go, or you could just hit the open D string and leave them both ringing. That sounds pretty good too. So let me try that and see what that's. This is what I mean. This is what this is like. So when you find different notes in different areas of the fretboard, you can start trying different things. This gets you familiar with the fretboard and the instrument, man. The tabs, if I were learning this song and I was doing it via the tabs, I would be playing it like this, and that's it. I'd be satisfied with the outcome that I got, Wow, it sounds like the song. That was great. That was a lot of fun. But look at all the other stuff I'm missing out on, like where I can find the D note, leave it ringing in the back, find that extra little sound. Right? And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Just a quick little lesson kind of thing, right? Because really that's what this channel's about, man. This channel, I don't consider myself to be a guitar teacher, so to say. Instead, what I'm really doing here is I'm just sharing you my own guitar experience and how I've learned and what I've done to learn the guitar and all the pitfalls that I crashed into in the way. The tab thing for me was a big pitfall. I was learning songs and I knew how to play songs, but that's all I knew how to do was play songs. I didn't really know anything about the guitar. And then when I started venturing into the different formulas that are involved in what's happening in the fretboard, then I started to understand, oh, I can go get the sounds I'm looking for on the fretboard without having to look at this map. I could find it myself because I've gone through the journey of trying to find it. And that's what I hope you find too. And you can enjoy playing this music and playing this instrument and playing these awesome songs. So that's it, man. That's me today at the tool shed. I'm just hanging out here for a couple of minutes and I wanted to share this with you guys. So thank you so much for your support. Thanks for hanging out with me last night, man, during the live. Man, we did the Grudge live and it was a blast, dude. We played the song, we played Sober, I think we played Jimmy, and we played the Grudge, and we had a lot of fun hanging out here, man. We were out here for a couple hours. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and thank you for all your support. All right, man. Remember to practice today. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Take care, man. Be well.